Mic open, Rach. I just forgot I'd got the fader up. Hello.
Hello.
I thought I'll just tell Rachel mic's open and mine was already there. What a numpty. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Better.
That's good.
Yes.
Tell me the story about not being better and being better again.
I had a mouthful of ulcers.
Oh, ow, that hurts.
Yes. And one doctor gave me antibiotics, didn't work. And my GP gave me this, what she described as herbal remedy from the chemist. Wow. Wow. Absolutely
Look,
brilliant.
I have long said this about Slovakia.
Mm-hmm.
I have long said this, and it is true story. When I was there and dying, literally dying, we went to a pharmacist, and that was fine, whatever. But when Mrs. Wilshire gave me whatever it was out of her special potion drawer, I was still dying, but I didn't care that I was dying.
It's like, I mean, can you imagine this? You have a counsellor walk into the office who's planning to come on to RTI with me and you. And she brings you a bottle of homemade Slivovitcher, which is to be taken every morning, a thimbleful every morning, to make you better.
Yes.
That's a counsellor.
Yes, but you know what?
What?
It's the wisest people. It's the wisest of the wise, and that's what I think is different about Western medicine, Eastern medicine, and sort of Eastern European medicines.
Yep.
It's really interesting to me because as a Westerner, I am programmed to sort of. Basically, my core belief system is based on pharmaceuticals and medicine, and that to up to a certain point has served me very well. And of course, then we start in the Western cultures, we start to embrace Eastern medicine, and we invite expertise from other areas, such as naturopaths, homeopaths, and that sort of medicine. But then you go to Narnia. And when I say Narnia, I mean there was a door in your apartment, and then I walked through a door with a special potion handed to me by the alchemist, Mrs. Wilshire, and walked through the door, and it was Narnia. I was in Narnia. And I don't think, honestly, truly, I would have been able to survive the rest of that trip without that special, the special drops she gave me. I have no clue to this day what was in it. No idea. And I don't think I even asked you. I think I just took it. I sort of just shoved it down my throat and gimme.
Oh,
I would not have made it through that trip if it wasn't. And that's the thing. It's like I don't know what sort of special medicine that was, where it came from, how it happens, who made it. I don't know, but it was like magical, and it was, and I want to say witchcraft, but in the good Bewitched way, not in the bad, sort of,
I know.
the good Elizabeth Montgomery way, like that. But I honestly could not have got through that trip without that. I couldn't have.
Well, there's another one she does with matches.
Matches?
Yeah, you got that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where they light matches and break them and put them in water in a certain fashion, and it has to be in a certain way to make somebody better.
Well, I don't know what it was, but I'm a, and because I sort of didn't know what it was and I didn't know what was happening, I had absolutely no preconceived notion of what was going to happen next. Absolutely none. So I was like, and I think this helps if you are just way open to whatever, like just open your brain and open everything to whatever you're about to receive, because I knew there was only one thing I knew for certain, and that she had no intention of killing me. No intention of killing me. And that meant that only good could come from this. And I wasn't even scared. I was just like, well, if this person is handing me this thing that she knows and has probably known since childhood, I'm taking it. I'm taking all of it, and I'm taking all she's got on her and taking it with me.
Right.
So, but yeah, magical. So when somebody hands you something and they say take a thimbleful, then you do it.
Yes.
And what happens? You get better.
Yeah, I know. It is absolutely bonkers that these things work. But I have to say, if you think about it logically, a lot of very old medicines were actually herbal anyway.
Well, they had to have been, because they were all created. And look at that's the thing. Look at apothecaries and alchemists and those sort of people. They all, and witches. Witches basically just like to hang around in their garden and mix stuff together and then talk to their crows. Like, I mean, this all harkens back to before modern medicine was even a thing.
Yeah.
So this is, very, very old medicine. That's why Eastern medicine's so great. Sort of like Chinese medicine, and it goes back further than we can possibly know. Now, if you want to go back further in a country like mine, you have to go back to our Indigenous First Nations people.
Yes.
And study what they used as medicine. And a lot of that is stuck in communities, and a lot of it's fairly well gate kept as well, because they don't want to share it with us at this point. We're the ones that came along and gave them all cholera and typhoid and stuff.
Yeah,
so
true.
They don't like us very much. But I think there's this is old school, and it's worked for such a long time. What's to say it's not going to work now? What's
True.
to say that it's that our and yes, okay, modern medicine is very clever, and scientists are very clever, and chemists, and they're all very, very clever, and microbiologists and all those sort of people that make our medicine. They're all extremely clever, especially when you consider what, like, let's take HIV, for example.
Mm-hmm.
When you had back in the 80s, or even quite recently, if you had HIV and that turned into full-blown AIDS, you're dead.
Yeah.
But now you can have HIV and live the rest of your life with the medicine that they've created.
Yes.
There's certain cancers that they're able to get rid of. There's, so modern medicine is very, very good. But I think there is a place very much that we still have to remember where all those medicines got their inspiration from. They got their inspiration from natural medicine from way back when.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, if you are in Slovakia and one of your lungs has exploded and the other one's just like a saggy old balloon that's got no air in it, and you can't get air, and you're just miserable, and you're trying to climb a mountain with a man who is also struggling to climb that mountain, and if you just think that the end is nigh, it's not, because there's Mrs. Rusher and her magical Narnia medicine. Her Narnia medicine.
I know the feeling. Let's say hello to a few people and some new people. Kayla, where's Kayla? In England, who's just become a fan. Nice one.
Yay.
Scrooge Ghost Family up there in Scandinavia. Thank you. Jeffrey, where are you? You're in the US of A. Has also just become a fan. Nancy. Hello, Nancy. Who's in... Ooh. Philippines. I just remembered.
Oh.
That's nice there. She's also become a fan.
Yeah.
Michael's there. Thank you. Disney Girl, Willow Chapman, Natto 42 is Natto, which I presume is short for Natalia, is in the US of A. Kavindu. Right, I don't know this one. LK. Where's LK? Somebody tell me where LK is, because Kavindu has become a fan as well. Michael said, my thoughts go out to the families of the two victims that were shot and stabbed in Manchester yesterday. I couldn't agree with you more. And BBC News is breaking... Where?
Sri Lanka.
That's Sri Lanka? Blimey. Okay. Oh, well, okay. Beautiful place. The BBC is breaking that actress Patricia Routledge, the star of the comedy Keeping Up Appearances, has died at the age of 96. Mrs. Bucket. Or Bouquet.
Is that really? Because,
Yeah.
I thought that happened a while ago.
Well, that's what I would have thought, but maybe I got it wrong. I got another one for you, Rach. Where's BD? Could be Bangladesh, I suppose.
Could be. Hang on.
But Akash has become a fan as well. Morning to Steve, the footy nut guy. I think you just...
Bangladesh, you're quite right. You get a prize.
Oh, thank you. Would I get kudos?
Yes, Q and DOS.
Q and DOS. Did she get her special potions from Hogwarts? Probably.
No, Hogwarts got them from her.
Well, that's probably true as well. Hello to Trina. Hello.
Yay.
Witches hanging around the garden and talking to crows. Sounds like a get-together at Rachel's.
It is. It's very much. It's you know, you dig around in the garden and get all your herbs and your things to make your spells, and the crows come and you talk to them, and you know.
I know,
that's how it is. That's how witchy things go.
Yeah, you're right, because I can't remember one of them. No, it was licorice, that's right. Both were licorice. And I had a bad tummy. And it was it kicked in about 7 in the evening, so I couldn't go to a pharmacist. And so the only shop I could see open was this, looked like a pharmacy but wasn't. It was a Chinese herbal shop. And I told her the symptoms, like Delhi belly, and she said, oh, that's all right, you'll be right in about an hour. So I said, what do you mean? She said, put 2 of these in the bath water and just lay in the bath and take 2 of these tablets, which were licorice based. And you know what? She was flipping right. I was okay. And another time when I went to a Chinese shop was a Sunday afternoon. And my back was so bad, I was almost at 45-degree angle. I can't have something. So I just gambled on this shop, and I walked in. I said, have you got any painkillers, please? And she went, no, they're terrible things. What do you want painkillers for? So I explained the back problem I got. And she said, just a minute, come here. And she rubbed this stuff on my back. And within a couple of minutes, I could feel it getting better. And she said, now you can buy the jar because you're convinced. And I said, I am convinced. And
yes, give me the largest jar.
Yes, anyone will do. And she was absolutely right. Has your Slovakia improved, or are you still like hello, hello? Oh, the TV series. No. Actually, I've got to say, in the 20 odd years I've been here, it has changed dramatically. And for the good as well. It's not bad things, because what Slovakia's managed to, like we were laughing about it, but it is true, where, you know, herbal remedies will be preferred over, I don't know, your aspirins of this world. And they have a tea for everything. And if you go into a chemist, it's just full of tea. Absolutely full of it. What they've really done is Slovakia's kept its old good things and only adopted the only good things. So auto correct kicked in again. I mean, your language skills, are they still hello? Yes. I often get complimented in shops, because I always say in Slovak, sorry for my poor Slovak, and it's a disaster, is basically what I say. And then the people behind the counters go, that's very good. And I go, oh. And the only thing I have to say to them after that is, slowly, please, because they go so fast, I can't understand a word of it. But I suppose in terms of conversations, the funniest one was a friend of mine who was a yoga teacher, and she decided one day to bring her mum to the studio because she was so often here doing things like Postcard from Poprad and whatever. And her mum was just looking completely bemused because she didn't understand a word that her daughter and me were talking in English. So I just turned round to her and I explained to her mum what we were talking about. She went, oh, thank you, in Slovak. And the lady in question went, where did that Slovak come from? So I said, out my mouth. She said, but why don't you speak Slovak more? I said, I don't know. When I'm here, I'm English. When I go to a well-known supermarket, I'm Slovak, because I can't demand that they speak English because of me. So if I go shopping somewhere, I speak in Slovak. It's
funny, isn't it? When I lived in Japan, and you would understand this, Uncle Eric. It's full immersion. So nobody's speaking English around you. Nobody's even trying to speak English around you. So because that's all you're hearing, it's easier to pick it up. And you sort of, but I was in Japan when we didn't have, phones, of course. So there was no Google Translate. There wasn't anything like that. But, we got by with our little English to Japanese dictionaries that we'd carry with us everywhere we went. But after sort of, I don't know, after maybe 12, 18 months, I was speaking Japanese fluently.
Yeah. I think you've got to have an open mind, haven't you?
You do, but I will say this is an interesting thing that I learned a bit later on, that people who can sing pick up languages faster because it's an ear thing.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. So if you're musical or you sing or anything like that, your ability to not only pick up languages but also accents, so you can speak in the accent that you're supposed to. So you can, and the pronunciation is not like an Australian speaking whatever. It would be as if you're speaking that native tongue to the letter, and that's all through musicality and being able to sing. So because it's an ear thing, you can hear it, you can replicate it.
But I suppose then, being a boy soprano and then a tenor makes me musical. Yeah.
Well, I know that those two things mean that you can't hear any of the low notes. Therefore, you won't hear any of the low words.
That's very true. Steve says, Rachel.
Yeah.
Can you speak some Japanese?
I'm trying to think of something.
He just
without
wants
curse
he
words.
wants an important phrase.
Okay. Watashi wa Rachel desu. Yoshiku onegaishimasu.
What?
That is, my name's Rachel, and I wish good. Please give me your good favour. Is what that basically translates to.
Oh, so it's like the cherry blossom thing.
Huh?
Cherry blossom.
What?
The wish. The what was it? What was those blokes in? What did they sign them off now? With the blessing of the cherry blossom or something.
Oh no, this is just like it's like how do you do?
All right.
But it's more than sort of good afternoon. How are you? It's this is because you're always wanting to have people to give you good favour or wish you good things, and you wish them on others. That's the culture there.
No.
So you're basically when you're giving them your introduction, you're saying, and what I said was, I am Rachel. Please I would appreciate your good favour.
So Rachel,
Mm.
konnichiwa.
That's hello.
Yes, well, Michael just wrote it on the screen for me.
Oh, hello. Konnichiwa. And the other thing that used to spin me out in Japan was that when you walk into a shop, and anybody who's been there would know this, or even in some Japanese restaurants or Japanese shops in many parts of the world, they do it. They yell out "Irashaimase" and what that means is welcome.
Oh, right.
But they do it. They do it every time somebody walks through the door. Every single time somebody walks through the door. So, and I got to a stage when I was living there that I just didn't even hear it. Because you're in a shop or you're in a restaurant and you're eating your food, and all of a sudden you hear "Irashaimase." It's like, oh, that means more people are coming in.
Oh,
and you just don't hear it after a while. But the first little while I did a jump scare kind of thing with it. What? Why are you shouting?
you just reminded me a story about Chinatown in London. And you go into this, and it's renowned for being one of the best Chinese restaurants in Chinatown. And it's also the most funny in Chinatown, because you get your food served and you can see the quality of it is just amazing. And then the waiter says, "You hurry up! You hurry up!" and everybody falls about laughing because it's not for real, but it's become the trademark of the restaurant in question. And
Right.
we were there as guests of some Chinese people, so we got real Chinese food, not Western food, and it was just beautiful. Anyway, let's get on with some days, Rach, shall we?
Days. I got lots of days today. Some really good days.
Oh, right.
I think that we'll do one specially for you first. It is National Techies Day.
No.
Get yourself a new gadget, learn more about tech, teach others, and appreciate the important role tech and techies have in our modern day lives these days.
Yeah, but can we add to the back end of that? Don't talk in black art mode.
Oh.
Because, some of these techies, they talk in what I call, black art mode, meaning they sort of say, now this is the television handset that's got 50 ohms of resistor in that bit to enable this bit to work. So that's TV one. And you go, I didn't need to know that. All I want to know is, how do I get TV one? And
how do I turn it on and off?
Yeah, so the black art people, no thank you. And in actual fact...
Yeah, don't bother people with the lingo.
No, and I used to get in terrible trouble on a tech show in London, and the anoraks would write in going, yeah, but you should tell them to do C:// blah, 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 blah. And I go, no, we go, help, write the name, see where it sends you, and then do it. We don't need any colons and bits and bobs and all the rest of it. Oh, good, says Michael. This is my day as I'm learning about Windows 25H2 and the stupid bugs that break some of the apps and programs that I use. Talking about the history of text here, Steve, when was the first time you used a fax machine?
Well, was had to have been in the 80s, 90s.
No, mine was before that. Only because I was still working for BT, British Telecom, when the first training courses about fax machines came out, and I was on one. Are they older than
people? Of course,
people?
yeah, you would have been with BT, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other one, which did work well for me, and it was on LBC in London, and this woman said she'd called the station and was moaning about modern tech. And she said, so what's an email? And Robbie was trying to explain it, so I phoned up. I said, no, Robbie, just call it a posh fax machine. That's an email. And he said, do you know what, that makes sense. Yeah, and for years after that, he just called them a posh fax machine, because that's all they are, really. Hello, Marcus, who says hi all. That's nice of him, isn't it? So we've had the tech day. What have we got next?
Well, this is another one for you and for me. College Radio Day. It's College Radio Day. So let me tell you about the history of this. This is basically a US thing.
Yeah.
But we'll go from the history we've got from them. So the presence of college radio in the United States can be traced back to the 1920s.
Wow.
When several different colleges, all who claim to be the first, began their radio stations. The one most commonly given credit was the Union College in Schenectady, New York, who started its radio station WRUC in October of 1920. Even earlier, on the same campus in 1915, the Radio Club was founded, which encouraged amateur students to engage with broadcasting music over the radio waves. And they've been celebrating this ever since. Mostly, though, in 2014, this really became a non-profit foundation that was supported by them. So over 700 college radio stations throughout at least 50 countries.
Oh, right. Now, they're often called campus stations as well. And in the UK, they were very minuscule at one point. They're bigger now. And they're classified as community radio stations really now. And the thing prior to that was hospital radio stations. And there was a list of songs you weren't allowed to play.
Yeah, of course.
Funny that, isn't it?
Of course. Well, every year, whenever they do this, they have a theme that helps, people target a specific thing they want to celebrate. In 2022, it was Voices for Peace.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense. And 2023, where all voices are welcome, and really, really importantly, and could possibly be dribbled over to this year, 2024 is Defenders of Democracy.
Okay. Steve's brought an interesting point up. Did they use Morse code in the beginning? No, you can't play music in Morse code, Steve. Not going to happen.
You can if you just got a drummer.
I suppose you could, yeah. Yeah, you could play Apache by the Shadows. The famous one, which was all drums, was Little B and Big B.
The beginning of Wipeout.
Yeah, no, it was they were both singles in their own right. When was speech over radio invented? Ooh. I don't know. Must have been earlier than I thought. It was actually, because in the really early days there wasn't even a wireless license as such. They were experimenters' licenses, and that was before the 1930s. And the BBC started off as 2LO in the 1930s. So speech radio per se has been going for a very, very long time. Morse has been going longer, although Morse is not used so much now, apart from in places like the military. And the reason for that is Morse code will get through when voice radio won't, because of the acute sound. I'm full of useless information today, aren't I?
That's all right.
Oh.
Do you want to know when the first radio broadcast of voice and music
Yes, please.
went out? It was made by Reginald Fessenden on Christmas Eve 1906 from Brant Rock, Massachusetts. And during the broadcast, he played the violin and sang, while also playing a recording and reading a Bible passage. With ships at sea were among those who heard the very first transmission.
Blimey. It is a bit weird because, it's just prompted my brain again, because on the show before us, Titus Jennings, it's just a fabulous program. You should all listen to it. And on came the title track to. Now, what was the title track? Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. And I said to Susanna, "You know he's dead." So she went, "No." I said, "Yeah." And it was really weird how you kind of go, but he can't be dead because he's not allowed to be. Should live forever. And he does get us. Michael found, this is what I found on December 23, 1900. Canadian-American physicist Reginald A. Fessenden was the first
That's the one I just read out.
That was him. Yeah. First to transmit human speech over radio waves. And do Americans say Tesla invented radio? No. No, definitely not. No, absolutely not. Steve's just had confirmation that sadly Mrs. Bouquet has died. Or as it was spelt, Bucket, Bucket, but on the television show she was known as Mrs. Bouquet because she was very posh. Mazak, hello, has just become a fan. I wonder where Mazak is. Doesn't tell me. Mazak, where are you? I need to know now because I just need to know because I'm like that. Anyway, the tech one went well. Where are we going next?
We're going to... Well, we've got to do... I think we should... Well, we usually get a food one, don't we?
Yes.
We get a food one. Well, let's do one for the kiddies first.
Right.
One for the kiddies. Take this one home to Elizabeth. It's Kids Music Day.
Oh, did I send you the video?
Hang on, what?
Did I send you the video of her playing the guitar?
Yeah.
Where she's pretending to be a rock star.
She wasn't pretending, she was a rock star. It's never too early to start teaching kids the joy of music. Take part in a local Kids Music Day event or just sit down with your child to teach them some basics. Or just let them rock out in the garage.
I know, but I kind of get why she pretends to be a rock star, because Martina was really good at taking her to the open air concerts, which we have here in the summer every Friday or Saturday, and they're all free. So any local person can go. And of course, she saw a load of rock stars, and she just took it that if you're playing a guitar, you have to be a rock star. And she absolutely loves it. And that's not always untrue. It's interesting that because my dad's been a music teacher for a very long time, and there's always these really interesting studies that they do about kids that play music versus kids who don't. Yeah.
Studies show that dabbling in music can improve a child's language development. And raise their IQ, which is kind of a misnomer because I don't really believe in IQ, and even test scores. But it's about life, like music crafts connections. It forges communities. It often can become a child's most trusted companion. in navigating, the complexities of growing up. And you think about what the music that you listen to, it harkens you back to a time. So if you hear a song and it's no more than just nostalgia, it's taking you to a place where back in, a certain period of time where you were doing certain things. But music will always be your friend, unless it's a band that breaks up like the Beatles or something, and ultimately betrays you and breaks your heart. But it's not ever. Music's a constant, so it's always something that's comforting and good for your circadian rhythms as well. If you are, in having trouble sleeping, I mean, I wouldn't listen to, Def Leppard if you can't sleep.
No.
But there's a lot to be said for holistic music as well, and the nice sort of, gentle plunkies with water and streams going. The music's very powerful, and it should be celebrated every day. But certainly developmentally for children, it's really important as part of their base education.
Yeah, true. We think Mazak is either from the Czech Republic or Slovakia. There we go.
Okay.
He's just
either way.
Yeah, he's there. Another day, please.
Another day. Well, I think we should do this one, or you guys can, or I can. No, it's over for me, but I could do it tomorrow. Buy British Day.
Right.
You got to support your local. Well, not for you necessarily, but for our friends in the UK. The best way to show support for local business and your farmers and your people who build your cupboards and all that sort of thing is just to go to the shops today and be mindful and buy at least one thing that is British made.
Yeah.
It helps your economy and it helps local industry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I had a debate in a local supermarket here because I picked something up and I said, "Oh, damn." And the shop assistant who was there obviously understood English because started talking to me. She said, "What's wrong?" I said, "This has come from Argentina." Yeah. We know the British don't like it. I said, No. It's got nothing to do with that. I said, we're in Slovakia. There are great farms in Slovakia. And yet you choose to sell meat from Argentina, which is either come on a plane or in a boat. The amount of fossil fuel it's used. And I'm not a fossil fuel maniac. Sorry, I'm talking Slovak now. Do you know that's the same word? Maniac.
That's why I understood you. I didn't even think of it until you pointed it out.
And she said, "Oh, okay." She said, "Well, there's some here from Ireland." I said, "No, local." And she said, "This one." I said, "Where's that from?" And she said, "I don't know, somewhere in Slovakia." I said, "Oh, I love that one." And I did it not just necessarily for supporting the local, but for not wasting energy and thinking, well, how much did the farmer get paid for that beef? Because with all the on costs of transport, and you would know about this, coming from Argentina to Slovakia is going to cost a small fortune. So
it is, and I mean, is it you don't even know. I mean, this is why there's such a kerfuffle over American beef, is that their regulations are very loose.
Yeah.
Ours are very, very strict, but all our bio stuff is very, very strict. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
So that's why the whole world wants our beef.
Well, yeah.
Because it's very, very controlled, and it's also very, very good.
I'll give you an EU myth now. The myth is that anything passes between the borders across the Schengen EU area. No. I was actually stopped by the police one morning. They were breathalyzing everybody at 7:30 in the morning, which actually I thought was a really good idea.
It's smart. You've been out on a bender the night before. You wake up at somebody's house at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You're like, I better sleep this one off a little bit longer. You get in your car when the sun comes up. You're still blowing numbers.
Yeah, you would. And I mean, I don't drink, so it doesn't really bother me. But there was this huge lorry coming from Poland, and that was stopped. And I said to the policeman, "Why is that stopped?" He said, well, if it hasn't got the right paperwork and can't verify where it's come from, it's turning around. We don't want it. And, you know, this can happen. Oh, message from Steve. Music can cure you.
Can.
If you can't leave your house, then listen to Eric singing and you'll be out of the door in less than 5 seconds. Thank you. Oh, that was hurtful, wasn't it?
Little bit, do you know, yeah, but it's Steve. This is the sort of stuff we've expected from Steve.
Yeah,
now.
Well, we do.
It just, you know, sort of the cruelty just gets deeper and deeper.
No, we know that he's well if he's good with the abuse. Hello, dude, who's just joined us, who's in the US. Dude. Hello, dude, and has become a fan. Thank you very much.
Dude. Where's Dude from?
From America.
America. I like all our American listeners.
Yeah, I know. Where would you be in America?
I want to give them all a big hug in this current climate.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. But what was the song we sang? White Christmas. I've got a copy of it somewhere that was actually released here with a friend of mine who worked for me at the radio station and I doing the karaoke version of White Christmas. And the trouble is it actually got played on the radio in other stations. It was a hit, even though it was a minor one. Trina says, where's Axel today? I don't know, but I think he's probably picking up a new car, because he did mention it to us that local radio station that refused to play his music was selling their white stretched limo. Now, the picture I saw of it, you could see where the motifs were on it from the previous owner, and he was looking to buy it and get some big RTI stickers made for it to drive around Pell City. I
thought he was going to turn it into, you know, like a Ghostbusters film or something.
No, he's already on Ghostbusters because he was doing...
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He was doing the...
Why wouldn't you kid it out?
Yeah, exactly. So if he buys it, then I hope they play his music. They won't, Steve. They just won't. They don't get any logic. Some of these, and we were talking about campus stations earlier. Some of them are absolutely brilliant community serving stations, but then you get the other ones, which, and I had the misfortune of being put in charge of one for a while, and I have to say 50% of the DJs walked out because I said to them, "What do you play?" "I play this." "Why do you play it?" "Because I like it." "What about the listeners?" "Well, I'm sure they'll like it as well." "No, they won't." And you get a lot of that with the local community stations where the vast majority of it is oldies. Then they'll have a themed oldie something and wonder why none of the teenagers or 20-somethings listen to the station. And it's ridiculous.
That's right.
You know, they're not.
It is ridiculous.
They're not looking after the audience. We move on, Rachel.
This one's for Steve. It's called World Smile Day. Bring smiles to the faces of others through acts of kindness, community work, and of course offering your own lovely smile and friendly thoughts to brighten anyone's day.
We did that yesterday, Susanna and I. Because
I do it every day.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened to me today? And I've already done it.
Oh, no, hang on, a quick message from Steve. Bar humbug.
Oh, no. Well, that's, yeah, no wonder you're alone. Robbie's, because I'm off work and Robbie's back home, so we've had the whole week together, and we've actually, unlike usual times when he's home, we've actually accomplished quite a lot. But I have decided, for some reason, I've taken it upon myself to just get over myself and get back in the kitchen and start cooking food, which I really enjoy doing, and for cooking things I haven't cooked before. So that's really interesting. But I said to him last night, pulled out the recipe, a couple of our recipe books, we got thousands of them, and I said, here, you pick out anything you want and I will make it, anything. So do you know what he chose?
Pasta, pizza.
No. He chose coq au vin.
Oh, lovely.
Right.
Very,
so
very,
we went,
very 1980s.
Very. And so today we went to the supermarket to get all the fixins, and we had to go to the bottle shop because there's in coq au vin there's red wine and there's port, and just because this is he drinks but I don't, so I don't have these things on hand. So we had to go to the liquor store to get the stuff. And this girl behind the counter, she would have been 20 if she was a day. But man, she had done her home. She knew her stuff. And she was taking us all around the shop and pointing out this would be great in cooking, and this one's more to drink, and this one's this. But and she also knew off the top of her head all the specials that were on offer.
Oh, wow.
So she said, if you spend more than that, you can also get that for half price, and blah, blah, blah. And I just went, oh, my God, I haven't had service like that in a shop like that for years and years and years. And it's usually when you're with, the old fella who's been working there for 1,000 years. But she's this young girl, so I took her name and I wrote a nice email and sent it off.
Good. I do that as well.
That was my kindness thing.
Yeah.
Because, people... It's easy to get on Yelp or wherever and give horrible reviews, but people very rarely give really good reviews. They mostly complain on them, which isn't fair.
Oh, I normally use my radio station email and send it to the press office. And funnily enough, I did have a guy come and thank me once in a shop because the message had got down to the manager of the shop. They're called directors in Slovakia. And he'd complimented him and said, but that's an English bloke. And he said, yeah, I know who he is, but I don't know him. So he said, well done you. By the way, Trevor had tomato soup and meatballs last night.
Oh. Do you know what I made this afternoon?
What?
I've never made them in my life. I made... these sort of like a donut. It's from Naples, and it's an Italian style donut. And so I had to make, donut stuff, and then make sure it was rising for 2 hours, and then bring it back and do this and do that. And yeah, I've really been very busy, and they worked, by the way. Didn't turn out to be house bricks.
Oh, right.
Back all light and fluffy, bit of cinnamon and sugar on the outside. Nice.
All right. What was the mistake I made?
I've been very busy, Uncle Eric. I've been very busy in the kitchen.
Well, that's all right then, as you should be. You should be looking after your man.
I know, but I haven't. I've done my mojo's been off with my cooking because I always love cooking, and then my mojo went off a little bit with the stresses of life, etc. And now I seem to have got my groove back, which is very nice, and I'm enjoying myself.
You're doing your groove thing.
Yeah.
That's a song.
I know.
Yeah, there you go.
Shake your groove thing, shake your groove thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you want another day?
Yes, please.
It is National Body Language Day.
Oh, my favourite subject.
I bet.
I love it.
And for different reasons.
No.
I
No.
dare say for different reasons.
No. I actually wrote a published book on sales and body language. And
there you go.
And the best story I've got was a brewery buyer in the UK, and I was trying to persuade him to change suppliers for one particular item. And I finished the pitch, and he looked at me and I looked at him, and we sat looking at each other for 7 minutes, neither of us saying a word. And then the body...
How awkward.
No, because that's the rules. Once you finish, you say nothing. You put the pressure on the buyer. And in the end, he started to wiggle a bit and laugh and giggle. And I went, so I win then? And he went, yes. Simple as that. Rachel's internet is dying, says Steve. He did wobble a bit, but it's not dying. It had a
I had a little message earlier on that came up and said, your internet is unstable, and I thought, it's not just the internet, mate.
Yeah.
But it seems okay now.
Yeah, sort of. Today, says Michael, I had 2 meat and potato pies, mixed veg, broccoli, sweet corn, carrots, green beans and cauliflower, with mashed potatoes, roast potatoes, Yorkshire pudding and gravy. Oh,
wow.
That's nice. Oh,
I made shepherd's pie last night. I made shepherd's pie. That was pretty good.
They on one trip to Riga in Latvia, everybody was laughing at me because we decided to go to the Irish bar, which is quite good in Riga, and the Guinness is good there. And I looked at the menu for food and I said, what? They'd got shepherd's pie on it in Latvia. So I said, I'm having shepherd's pie. And I did it rather loud and everybody was laughing at me. But that was I had a scam email claiming I'm not paying my iCloud. Check the sender's email address, and if you're not sure if it's a message is real, I doubt it very much. That's a common one, Steve. Yeah, Steve just got this email in and he's asking whether it's real or not. I very much doubt it.
That'd be fake with iCloud, and also the ones that are also fake with them is your storage. To get you to buy more storage, and they're fake as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We got time for a couple more, Rach.
Okay. Let me see. I'll pick a fun one. It's International Crumhorn Day.
What?
The International Crumhorn Day explores the historical wind instruments. The crumhorn's unique sound adds a distinctive touch to musical compositions. It is it's a double reed woodwind instrument that goes all the way back to the 14th century. So some originals of these instruments would have been as far back as the court of Henry VIII. And it's just it's like a regular kind of, a reed instrument, for example, is a saxophone, a clarinet, they're reed instruments. So it would have been something similar to that, but I think it would have had a more sort of, it would have had a more brassy. If you can imagine the sounds when you watch those period pieces, and they have, certain music behind them, you can tell what sort of horns they were using. I mean, obviously there was a low trumpet, and that would have been foregoing. But in the court itself, especially imagine the music playing when the jester comes, for example?
Yes.
It would have been a horn that would have been used in that.
Do you know what?
Crumhorn Day.
Crumhorn. Do you know, I'm a brass... Well, I can't anymore because you're not allowed to in most countries. I used to play the E-flat bass, which Americans call a tuba. And you're only allowed to play them for so long because they can damage your lungs. And I have never heard of a crumhorn.
A crumhorn, yes, it's really interesting. It's like the end of a crumhorn is sort of bent upwards in a curve that makes the whole instrument resemble a letter J, not unlike a sax. So it would have been a very early saxophone. Yeah,
with 2 reeds. Interesting. Yeah. Is there an international Eric starts writing his book day? No.
We did that one. That one was a couple of weeks ago. I think we had write a book, and then we were laughing about you having written a pamphlet.
Yes.
And then we had to very well bash you over the head with the fact that writing a technical book is not writing a book.
Oh, what's this? I have my mobile phone set that if anyone is not in my contacts list, it will not ring my number and then sends it straight to voicemail, says Michael. That's a comment for Steve.
Huh.
I think so. I'm not sure about this. But anyway, I think, yes, okay, fair enough. Same here, says Steve. Do you know, I'm terrible with mobiles. Axel's here.
Good day to
good day to all. Hello, Eric and Rachel. Thank you, Axel. We're happy now because you're here. And I was just wondering, which medical facility were you in? For goodness sake, don't be late. Naughty boy.
Naughty boy.
The tech guy is bad with mobiles. Yeah, I honestly have no interest whatsoever. And for example, my desktop computer is the home to WhatsApp, to sending SMSs via my phone, yada, yada, yada. I even have apps for my phone number to be answered on my computer. I do not use it. And yesterday I said to Susanna, we were waiting for something, and my colleague had asked for a couple of ID numbers. And I said, what? How do I copy them? And of course the phone wouldn't let me just copy them. It was taking the whole message index from months from him. And I said, and in the end, I got Susanna put her glasses on, and she took the numbers off of my phone, keyed them into her phone, and sent them to my colleague in the UK. I have no... And when I get a new phone, I just say, Martina, I've got a new phone. Can you do the necessarily things? But there you go. Not interested. Laptops, computers, yes. Mobile phones, even tablets I'm not that keen on. Because they're a pain in the bum. You know what I mean?
Because I love mine. I'm looking at it as we speak.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Can we have one more day quickly?
Yes, you can have one more day quickly. It's World Temperance Day. You and I know all about this.
We do.
It's basically a day that asks us to sort of look after our health and, and think about, explore the benefits of reducing or abstaining from alcohol. It's not a judgment at all. It's just about making informed choices for a better quality of life.
I know I'm going to sound a bit of an old git, but whilst I suspect this is the same as a smoker, Rach, when you give up, you have a yearning, and in my case, it's a certain cider, and I would like one every now and again, but then I go, no. Beer, I will drink a non-alcoholic beer, but I don't miss the alcohol, which is weird.
No, yeah.
It is very, and not this summer, the summer before, we had a Viva Italia festival in Poprad. And
this was the wine, wine that you drank, wasn't it? Yeah,
and because this came from the Tyrol, which I absolutely love in northern Italy, / southern Austria. And I was talking to this bloke about the Tyrol, and in the end, Martin said to me, "I'll have a glass." And I thought to myself, I don't know if I can do that. But I did have one deciliter, tiny little bit of wine, and it was lovely. But I never went back for any more. I didn't buy a bottle of it, no. So it was, I just don't miss it. I honestly don't miss it. I did for the first couple of months, but after that, nope. I can still recollect the taste of some of my favourite wines, but there's no demand from my brain to go and have a glass of wine anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like non-alcoholic wine at all.
No, that's pointless. And there's no excuse for it either. It's disgusting.
Yes,
Just don't do it.
Yeah, I quite agree with you. Anyway, it's that time, Rach, where I have to say to you, with the pair of you, so you're going shopping tomorrow. What's next?
And then we've got it's a what you guys wouldn't call a bank holiday here on Monday.
Oh, right.
And so we have got a family barbecue on Sunday, sort of afternoon, evening with Rob's family.
Yeah.
I'm going to make those donuts again and take them because it's an only Italian household. So that I'll either impress them, or they'll say, "Try again, white girl." And that's also fine.
Rach, do you want to cheat?
Sure.
Quick one. A little block of Stilton cheese. A tube of tomato puree. And a small tub of cooking cream. But be careful, you have to keep it on a very low heat, otherwise it curdles. You then cook pasta in the normal way. You drain it off, and then you pour the sauce onto the pasta, and you end up with pink, cheesy pasta. And it's an Italian that taught me how to do it.
Oh, yum. Well, I won't do that when I go to their next thing, because I have to do these donuts for this one.
Okay, yes, understood.
And whilst that sounds delicious, I think it would not be great over donuts.
No, serve it with garlic bread and some green salad.
Yum.
Yeah, yum. It's time to go, Rach. You got to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you next week, Rachel. Take care. All the best. And, let's have a little bit more, Axel. Why not? If I could just get the mouse to work.
Another tricky one, especially after last week, eh?